Hi, it's Kathy O'Connell at Reading Abilities. How are you? I am coming to you live with my weekly live video where I usually share a topic related to living with a disability. And tonight I'm going to take time out from talking about what we're all talking about these days, COVID and the quarantine, to do a little kind of return to normal conversation about a important topic that needs to be considered even in this time when we're under a global crisis. And that is that in April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is an issue very dear to me because of my introduction to it and its involvement with people living with disabilities. So, almost into the day, 25 years ago, and if you are in human services, you will really know what this is like. But it was a Friday afternoon. I was wrapping up my workday when the phone rings. And we all know that those Friday afternoon phone calls are not usually good ones. So what it was is I was at the time very new in my career in the disability field, and I was supervising a service that matched mentors, peer professionals with people with disabilities and help them get out in the community, help them work on goals. So I get this call 4 p.m. Friday afternoon, and it's someone I supervise who says, I had to call you because I've been working with Kelly, and Kelly's been telling me she has a boyfriend. Now, normally that would be cause of a celebration. However, with the next sentence, I knew it wasn't celebration. But that was said to me, and Kelly says her boyfriend is her neighbor. And her neighbor was someone couple with decades older, married with kids. So it wasn't a good situation happening there. So long story short, after investigation, after supporting Kelly in the ER to be examined by a doctor, which is very hard, after looking into the angles of the situation, it was concluded that this neighbor had befriended Kelly, had groomed her, and eventually lured her into its basement on the weekend that his wife and kids were away, and had sex with her. And that is horrific. It makes me rageable that people do that. And yet, in this whole story, what really gets me and what haunts me all these years later is that Kelly was someone who clearly would say she wanted a boyfriend. She wanted to be like her sisters and go out on the weekends with her boyfriend. She wanted that kind of attention, and Kelly was someone in their early 20s, so who could blame her for wanting that? And what I saw was the real problem is that everyone in her life ignored that and just assumed that because of Kelly's disability, that dating, sexuality, love would not be a part of her life. And as I would say, went and think about it some for yourself. When you have a need that is so strong within you, a desire, and everyone ignores it, you probably got still find a way to figure out how to get. And my point is that when we don't appropriately support people with disabilities to date, have relationships, have sex, make good decisions about dating and relationships, they're gonna perhaps find them in not so healthy ways like Kelly did. And I often think about Kelly and wonder how she's doing it. It's been a long time since I've been in that job where I did work with Kelly. But I often wonder what would have happened to her had someone in her life listened to her when she said, I would like a boyfriend. What if someone had listened to her and said, really, what kind of person do you think you want to date? And begun the conversation with her to explore dating and the possibility for her. What do you think might have happened? So that's my whole thing that I do at Reading Abilities is I teach dating and relationships to people with disabilities. I have a online course on developing a school curriculum to take into schools. And my whole point in what I teach is, granted, we can't prevent all sexual assault. Some are always going to sadly be ones we can't prevent. But I do believe that with people with disabilities, and you need to know that according to U.S. Justice Department, people with intellectual disabilities are sexually assaulted 7 times more than people without disabilities. Where was that fact in Me Too? I give Me Too all the credit in the world, but please be inclusive to people with disabilities. So imagine if across the board people were being sexually assaulted 7 times more than they already are, what the outrage would be. Yet few people know that that's happening still in 2020, and I happen to say it. God knows what may be happening in this quarantine to people who are so vulnerable. That is happening right now. People are sexually assaulted. Many people who can't verbally communicate, who can't easily tell their abuse, are being sexually assaulted. And my premise is we can clearly help prevent the assaults by acknowledging people's needs and desires and teaching them about dating, about sexuality, about good boundaries, about good decision making, about affirming that yes, your body, your mind may be totally different from Susie Q, who is the blonde bombshell, but you are a sexual being and that needs to be honored. You can tell I get fired up about that because I think we need to teach people with disabilities more about dating and relationships. Who cares if when they know how to set the table? Let's teach them how to get what they want most in life, which is a meaningful connection with someone. So I bring that up not only because April is Sexual Awareness Month, Sexual Assault Awareness Month, but I also bring it up because we need to change the conversation and talk way more about dating and relationships and disability. So if we want to begin that conversation, go to the link in the symposium because what I'm doing during the quarantine is I'm offering a free mini course to people who want to begin to look at dating, relationships, and how to successfully do that with a disability. So that's a free course. It's an email course where you sign up, and over the course of a few days, you get an email and an email with the video and guide to help you in these simply areas. Barriers to dating when you live with a disability, why everyone, I'm saying everyone, even if you're not online dating, you need a dating profile to give you clarity of what you want and communication tips. So, if you want to sign up for that mini course, or if you want to share it with someone and begin that important conversation that, who knows, you may be preventing sexual assault for someone. Please check it out. And please share that with someone you know who might be in need of beginning exploration conversation about dating and relationships. I challenge you, if you're watching this, you probably know at least one person who wants to begin that conversation. Share with them. Let's bring down that horrible statistic. 7 times more than sexual assaults for people with intellectual disabilities. It can be so prevented through honoring who they are as sexual beings, talking with them about it, and figuring out how to make dating and relationships work for them. Thank you so much for all of you who tuned in. I really appreciate it. Feel free to add a comment. I will be happy to continue the dialogue about this important topic. Hope you are healthy and safe, and I wish you at some time as much peace as you can hold in your heart. Thank you.